We are looking at Joey's freestyle below the water, commentary by Coach Chris. Let him get a few strokes in. And again, I'm going to let this play in real time so you can kind of get a sense of how the stroke's going. Really solid turn mechanics. Joey's doing a real good job. I like a lot of his technique. There's just a few things I want him to think about as he's swimming freestyle. And I really like that turn he went through. Real nice turn. Let's scroll back though. So, let's let him get going a few strokes. Now what I'm looking at with this frame is the alignment of his head. His head position looks pretty solid. He's looking down and forward. But more importantly, as he's extending, he's reaching down and forward as well. That's something we've been working on. And I've been trying to get the kids to extend to the right spot. We've been doing sculling drills and various drills. This is really important. You don't want to extend out in front of yourself. So he's actually coming in. That's a really good angle right there. Now, one thing I would like to see, and I'm seeing this a lot because we haven't talked about it. It's a pretty advanced concept. There's a whole other phase, okay? So you have the falling phase of the recovery. Once the hand comes in, you have like the extension phase as the hand comes in, and then you have the anchor phase, and then the pull phase. So you have falling recovery, extension, anchor, and then pull. I want you to keep those in mind because it's really the anchor phase that we're looking at adding to his stroke. And what it'll do is it'll help him grab more water. It'll increase the length of the pull, which increases the propulsion, which means more speed, more power, more going forward, which is what we want. So what we want to do is from here, once he gets full extended, like he is right here, he should, before even pulling himself forward with that arm, he needs to bend that wrist so that the hand is turned fingertips down, straight up and down. That's called anchoring. He needs to anchor his hand at the top of his stroke. If you watch videos of very high-end freestylers, this is a very important phase of the stroke that a lot of lower-level freestylers and younger athletes don't do. So it's something he's got to learn and he's got to add. After he extends, before he pulls, he needs to roll those fingertips down and anchor that hand so that it's straight up and down. And again, that's going to happen, let's go back just a few frames, that's going to happen at the end of this extension. So we're at the end of the extension, about to pull, he needs to anchor and then pull. This is the pull phase. And the reason it's important is because if you watch during the pull phase, he's pulling water now, but he's not pulling himself forward because his hand is oriented this way, which means he's pushing himself that way. Two ways to think about it, and I try to tell swimmers both. One, think about where your palm is aiming. You're going the opposite direction of whichever direction your palm is facing. So if his palm's pointed down and away, he's going to go up and forward. And we don't want to go up and forward. We want to go forward. Now, if he had bent that wrist and anchored his hand would be more in this alignment, and he'd be pulling himself this way. And it doesn't seem like much, but it makes a huge difference because your hand isn't really pulling you forward until it gets into that vertical alignment. So if we watch his pull, he's going to go from here when he fully extends. He's going to go from there to about here before his hand finally gets vertical. And then he starts pulling himself forward. And we'll watch that right here as we frame through. So this part of the phase, you can see it. He's not doing he's lifting himself up. You can actually watch his body kind of come up a little bit. He's not pulling himself forward as much because his hand isn't actually turned to pull him forward. Once he gets here, his hand is now reaching that vertical position that we wanted to get with that anchor phase. And now he's going to drive himself forward. So very, very important. This is how much of the pull we're losing when we don't have that anchor phase. Now, if you get rid of this and you anchor up front, then this entire pull is now propelling you forward. So we can see how much pull we're losing. I mean, if you just look at what I just drew, basically a third of the pull is being wasted. We're not using it to actually push ourselves forward, and that is a lot of pull that we're losing as far as efficiency. And again, you can see with that left hand, extension, here we're at the extend phase. He should be rolling this hand down so that it's straight up and down. And again, we're losing about this much pull, this much reach. That could be pushing us forward, but it's not, because we're not actually getting our hand vertical until this frame right here. And now he's going to pull. For the rest of this stroke, he's going to push himself forward, but it's not happening until later in the stroke because we're missing that anchor phase. So we can watch on this arm. Extend, anchor right here, and then pull. Missing the anchor. Really nice head position here. Now I think on above water he looked a little high, but now that I see it underwater, it might have just been the angle of the camera, because I think he's looking right where I want him. So I'm going to retract that above water statement. I like what I'm seeing underwater as far as how he's pulling. Good approach. Lands on his back. You would not believe how many of these videos I've had to comment on twisting, rolling, turning, turns. He's landing on his back, pushing off on his back, exactly what we talk about. Rolling on his stomach, kicking when he gets to the stomach. I mean, that is a really good turn right there. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So don't change anything on that, but do it more often in practice. Nice head lift with that breakout stroke. And again, we're watching this right arm's about to pull and it's not anchored. Got to add that anchor phase. Nice low breath. Look at how low that breath is. I really like that shot. Let's see if we can get that head. You can see the goggle. If you look real close, you can see the bottom goggle in the water. So Joey's got a lot of great technique. He's doing a lot of the things we've been working on right. You just got to try and get more power. Finish the stroke out the back, anchor it up front to extend that power and get more out of our pull. Because look at the kick. I mean, we're getting a lot of energy out of the kick. Let's start getting more of that power and energy out of our arms. So I like a lot of what I see. Keep working on all these things. Start thinking about a lot more of these things. Get more consistent in practice. You do a really good job. And just keep working on it. And I look forward to seeing you tonight at practice.